What's going on YouTube? Dave back again, and today, well, I have something a little bit different. Have you ever had a situation where you had to go out of town, or maybe you had to go to a hobby shop, something like that, and you had to take your paint supplies and everything with you? Well, I think I have the cure for that. Now, unless you ended up buying the Vallejo or the Scale 75, which I think the Scale 75 isn't exactly portable. I think only the Vallejo one is. But unless you bought that set, those come with a carrier and everything, which are perfectly fine. And if you end up looking for one on eBay, so forth, they're going to run you like 35, 40 bucks. People are not selling them cheap. Well, I found you guys a great alternative for being able to transport your paints, your brushes, and some tools with you if you're going to a hobby shop, going out of town, or anything else like that. Now, a majority of the paints that I use are Vallejo, so this is more based on those, though most of my GW paints I have transferred into dropper bottles, being 15, some even 20, 30 milliliter, depending on how many pots that I ended up having. But this is going to be based more for the MIG acrylics, the Vallejo paints, and the bottles that I've ended up transferring my GW paints into. So what this is intended for is actually for the bottles. I didn't bring any up here. They're for the bottles for the diffusers. They're the oils, the natural essence oils. You know, lemon, frankincense, you know the ones I'm talking about. Well, they come in different size bottles. Well, I was doing some hunting around because I didn't want my paints all over downstairs, and I didn't want to have them in a box. I just wanted to keep it all compact. So I went on doing some hunting, and I ended up finding this. Now, opening it up, one of the really nice things about this is it is a hard case. So it's made to keep those glass bottles that the oils are in perfect condition. And this works perfect. Now, I was kind of concerned. It says it fits up to 15 milliliter bottles, and I did measure. I do have some doTERRA, something like that, bottles down there. And I measured, and measuring with the GW or with the game color bottles, they come up to about here. So about this much was extra, and I was kind of concerned whether this would be too tight, but it is actually perfect. Now, you don't have to have this in here. It's just, it's got some kind of plastic backing in there, but it's got felt on each side. But it's handy just to have on there. Kind of sliding it off the table so you can see. There is a pocket for being able to put your paintbrushes, say just like this. And having this in there will keep that safe from them. And everything seems to fit okay. Now, you don't want to overstuff this, of course, especially if you're filling this completely up with paints. This does hold 70 bottles, so it won't quite hold the full game color line. I do have another one on the way. I'll show you guys that just in an update video later on. Now, I'm going to put a couple links down in the bottom. Keep an eye on the prices because they kind of bounce around. This one I ended up getting for $25, and then the same one ended up dropping down to $19.99, and then ended up bouncing up. Other one that I ended up buying was $19.99, but now it's like $22. Either way, one link will be to this one, and then the other link will be to one that has an instant, I think it's 10% off coupon. You just click on it and put it in your cart, and then when you check out, it automatically deducts that 10%. So I love these things. The zipper is very heavy duty. It has a very nice heavy duty handle on here. They're all the same size when you get the 70 count, and they're going to be able to be stackable. Now, I'm going to go over and show you guys all the different sets that I've ended up picking up. Now, when you end up getting this, there are little foams that are in each one of these, so you're going to have to punch them out. You're going to have a ton of them. Save them for packing. You can even save them for tearing up for doing stippling on your models. But personally, I love this thing. It's super handy. I'm going to be going out of town, I think, for a weekend later on down the month, and I'm going to be stuck in a hotel room while my wife ends up teaching a class. So this will be handy to be able to just have my brushes in, my paints, and throw a model in or something in my backpack and just sit and chill at the hotel while she's doing her thing. Like I said, it is a hard case. Great zipper on here. They do come in different colors. I don't really care about the color. I'll show you guys in another video how to transfer your GW paints into these other pots. but this one is a 10 milliliter. That one fits in there fine. And then this one is I think it's a 20 milliliter, something like that. It's fatter, but it's shorter than the 17 milliliter. But these 17 milliliters, they just fit perfect. Like they couldn't be any more perfect. But these, I think these are 20 milliliter because they're fatter. We've got the mid colors. Those fit in perfect. They're the same size as the Vallejo bottles. Your Army Painter paints fit the same. They're pretty much the same, just a little bit shorter than the Vallejo bottles. So like I said, this is a great addition if you're traveling, or maybe you're just confined on space and you want to keep everything in a nice compact space. When I was doing searching, you know, I ended up finding, I think Spiky Bits did a review on some game bag. It held, I want to say 30 pots of paint, something like that, and some brushes, and it was like $55. And I'm like, there's got to be a cheaper alternative, and leave it up to me to find that alternative for you. So like I said, I will leave a link down in the description to 2 different ones. Just keep an eye on the price. But like I said, you can't go wrong with this. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.